Ooh. Oh, that's cold. Why are my headphones so cold? Welcome back, everybody. Sorry about that. Welcome to my new space. I got lighting, I got a freshly painted wall, and all the space. So much room for activities. Today I'm going to do a number 2 Caesar haircut. So let's go over tools and then we'll get started. Last questions that I have been getting actually is about the clippers that I use. So the distributor's website is probably the best way to get the quality of clipper that you actually need rather than trying to go onto Amazon or eBay or whatever and getting a deal. This way you know it's not going to be a knockoff, you know that you're going to get all the guards with it, you're going to get the oil, you're going to get everything that comes with it. Now I've gone through a few different brands of clippers in my day, and I think what it actually boils down to is what is the most reliable and what is the best quality. And the one that I keep on coming back to is Wall. They have been around for over 100 years now, and I can almost guarantee that your mom or your dad or your grandma or someone in your family has a set of Wall clippers. They're easy to find parts to. Usually you can go to Walmart or wherever and actually get the guards. You can get the oil. There's lots of things that you can get that are Wall because it's such a big brand and they've been around forever. Just invest in some trimmers. If you're going to be cutting your own hair at home, you might as well get trimmers. They're really good for beards. They're good for a lot of stuff. So I would just get the trimmers to make your life a little easier. Now you need your guards. So we're doing a number 2 Caesar. So you need your number 2 guard. You're going to grab your combs, clipper comb, and a cutting comb. This is a clipper comb. This is a cutting comb. Spray bottle. And your scissors. So these are just regular, everyday shears for cutting hair. And then these are the thinning shears. I'm going to make sure that in this video I actually use the thinning shears so that you guys can see, because the last one I didn't and I had questions on it. So before you start, make sure that you grab shoes and put either a towel or a cape or a shirt that they don't like on. And we're ready to go. So first things first, you're either going to wet their hair down with your spray bottle or you get them to go have a shower. Because they're nice. I know all you guys do nowadays is sit on the couch and watch Netflix. So go have a shower every once in a while. You're wetting it down and getting all those kinks and weirdness out of it. That way when you cut it with your clippers, it'll actually cut evenly. Now, I know all of you are thinking, what a shame. Gotta get rid of this Kentucky waterfall. But you know what? It's fine. I'm only gonna cry a little. We can get through this together. Plus, I only got like 3 heads. So, and all short. Let's fire up some clippers here. So I got my clipper. Got my number 2 guard. Shove that on there. I'm just going to take some of this bulk off so that you guys, so it's a little easier. You guys can see it a little bit better. Alright, so let's start on those sides here. Number 2, remember, and my blade is closed. Remember the open and the close? If you've only seen this video, I'll show you what I mean by open and closed. This is the blade closed. That's the blade open. See how that top blade went out? So they're going to be closed. And I'm going to put my number 2 on. Comb everything down. And you're going to put it in, put it flat up against the head like this. Don't be going in like this. You're going to end up hurting them if you do that. Make sure that these are flat, okay? Right up against the head. And then once you get halfway, we're going to flick out a little bit. Comb down, go in, flick out a little bit. You want to go over it numerous times just so that you get all the hair. I'm just going to above the ear. We'll go on to the other side here. So you can see it well. All right. Again, comb everything down. Make sure you're combing as much as you can, okay? Don't be scratching their face, but comb as much as you can. Keeps the hair even. Going in, flat against the head. Straight up. Halfway, flick out. Again, halfway, flick out. Combing it. halfway, flick out. Over and over again. And we're going to go to the back. Look at all that glorious hair. It was way gloriouser before. Gloriouser? Is now. So halfway is different on this side, right? So there's the top of the head. There's the bottom of the hairline. So halfway would be about in here. So that's where I'm going to take up this middle strip. All right. Can't really see that well. Take a little bit more out so you can see it. Perfect. Okay. So I've taken that about the halfway mark, because if you push that down, that's actually where his head is. This is the halfway mark. And then I'm going to continue doing that just to the ear. And then I'm going to show you what that looks like on the side. Alright, now turn this guy again. Okay, so see all this here. You can see this is the ridge that we made first, and this is the one that we made afterwards. So all we're going to do is connect those. So let's connect those two. Flick. Yeah, flick. Remember to comb. Keep combing down. You're going to want to be able to like hold their ear down and stuff, get it behind there. Cool. So now we have a glorious mushroom cut, basically. So if you want to keep that, just do your edging and you're perfect. You got to, wow. So yeah, the fact that it looks like a mushroom cut, totally normal. That's what you want. Now, normally for myself, I would be taking my clippers and my comb with no guard and blending that in. With you guys, we're going to do it with that smaller comb and your shears. When you blend with your shears, you have a lot more control and you can see exactly how much you're taking off every time you snip. All right, so I moved closer just so you guys can see in detail a little bit better what I'm doing. So one of the more important things to do when you're cutting the top here and even cutting the top into the sides is making sure that it's wet. Once it's dry, it's going to poof out on you, and it actually is kind of harder to cut and to control which way you're combing it. So now that I've combed this down and have it wet and where I want it, I'm going to take this comb and put the spine of it right underneath that halfway mark where we flicked out our clippers. And that's where we're just going to start blending. Okay, so you take that in, snip, snip, snip. Okay, comb down, and you just slowly work your way up. Now what you can do is once you've gotten past this one halfway mark and there's nothing more to really cut off that stuff anymore, you work your way up just a little bit, but hover your spine off of their scalp a little bit. You don't want to go right down because you're just going to keep on going with the round of the head all the way up and it's not going to make sense and then you're going to have a buzz cut. And that's not what we want. So once you've done that initial blend at the halfway mark, that first line, we're going to go up, hover the spine just a little bit, and then snip. See how much I'm taking off? I'm really not taking that much hair off. I'm just taking these little pieces off. So we're not taking a ton off, and that's why we're doing the shears. It's because it's slower and more precise. See, I'm hovering my comb just a little bit. I'm hovering it off the head just a little bit. Every time. Hover, 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 hover. Easier to see if I actually move that. See, that's pretty well blended in. So now we're going to move to the other side. And I'm not going past the ear here. We're doing the same thing, but with the shears as what I did with the clippers. I'm not going past that ear line. All right, so now let's turn her to the back. Remember to keep her wet. Starts drying out. Give her a couple sprays. Don't want to dry out. Not yet. So we're going to do the same steps as we were doing with the clippers. We're going to go up in the middle, off to the sides, as if we were going from the back of the ear and just blending this in as a straight line. Okay. So now before with the comb, we were just taking this straight up here, and this was very horizontal to the ground. And same with back here, this was horizontal to the ground. Now we're gonna blend this, having our comb parallel to that line that we just made, connecting the side and the back. So remember to always comb down, get that line, and snip, snip, snip. And I'm still right there, I'm putting the spine of the comb right up against the head just to get that weight out. And then from there on in, I'm hovering a little bit. And we hover a little bit. And take that out. Slow and steady wins the race. There's no rush, especially when it comes to blending with your shears. There. So now that's all blended. You got a little bit of a weight line, but it's up higher, and we're going to take care of that with our fingers. Okay, now that we have that strong number 2 on the sides and we've blended a little bit with our shears, this is where we are going to do just the tiniest bit of sectioning, just straight down the middle to get a guideline. That's it. And the more perfect you make this line, the easier it's going to be to follow, because this is the first spot that we're going to cut. So now that we have that line down the middle, we are going to be cutting more or less a mohawk in the middle of their hair with that part that we just made. I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. Take this part. Make it the length that you want to. So this is probably about 1.5 inches long on top. There's your first guide right there. And then we're going to pull a little piece of the mohawk that we had parted out first. And see how that is cut. This is not. We're just going to line those up as a straight line. I'm going to round that off just a little bit at the front so that we don't have a really long bang. There we go. Okay. So now we have this curved line going down here, and then we're going to curve this and match it up with the stuff down here. So let's grab a piece of this and then the long stuff. And this one you'll be able to see really good. Woo! See how long this stuff is? And then this is your cut hair right there. So you just want to line those guys up and snip it off. Doing the same thing, you're making that same mohawk all the way down. So now that we have the mohawk guideline cut, we're going to do all the rest of the top here. So when you're coming across like this is why we have the guideline, because once I hold all this up, you can see that guideline. That is it right there. So when you're coming across like this, you just want to remember to keep your hands straight across. That's going to create a bit of a corner here, but then we're going to eventually take that off as well. So I would just start at the front just so you're not missing a whole bunch of pieces. So I'd start at the front, find that guideline. Remember to keep straight. So basically that whole top is pretty flat, except for you're going to have long pieces here and you're going to have long pieces here. So see that corner that we've made? It's like a perfect little corner. We're going to take that right off, and then that's going to be blended. Okay, so now this is where I'm going to blow dry it and show you guys how I can find flaws or anywhere uneven that I may have made it with my scissors. Alright, so this is a really good example. See this corner right here? See how that's jutting out right there? A little higher in there. So I would just come this way. Maybe take that down just a little bit. And this is just your finishing, guys. Oh, see, there's another one there just sticking up. Keep combing it, mess it around. Get it sticking straight out as much as you can so you can see all those mistakes. See how that silhouette is so much nicer? It's just because I'm taking the time to like look at the shape of the haircut and making sure that that silhouette is good. When you look at that and you see that the silhouette is perfect, you've done all the steps and there's still a dark spot there, it's usually because the shape of their head isn't perfectly straight and it's like maybe there's a dent there. A lot of guys have that right in here on both sides of their head and then right up here. They have a bit of a dent there. So all you want to do is take your thinning shears or your texturizing shears and just go into that dark spot. So we'll say that this is the dark spot right here. And you just want to do it a couple times. Don't go too crazy with these or else you're going to create a bald spot. See, there's another kind of dark spot right there. So go in there and take that out. So what it's doing is it's not taking every single hair out. It's kind of shaped like a comb. So when that blade goes down, it takes every other hair out, basically. Okay, so now that we're done with that, we're just going to go on to using the trimmers. So we'll go here, getting around their ears. So we're going to go in here, start at the middle. And again, don't go too far up into their hairline. You don't need to do that. You just kind of go where it naturally starts thinning out at the very bottom. Okay, that's going up a little bit. So take that just a little bit higher. There, straight across. That's all you want to do. And then you can take all that hair off from underneath, if they got it, and then square out this stuff. So you just want to line up this with that bottom square. So that's it. That's number 2 Caesar. Should be one of the easiest ones to do for you guys. It's probably one of the first ones we learned to do when we were in hair school. This is an easy haircut for everybody to do at home. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. ASMR.